So, I got my rent rebate for the year, and I was like, I don't know what to get. So I've been playing this game on Xbox, and it didn't seem too bad. So I was like, I know it's on Steam. Maybe I'll buy it. So I got looking because I didn't see the DLC on Xbox, but apparently there was like 4 or 5 DLCs for it, along with this new one that just came out. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna get the goddamn game, I might as well get the DLC and have all that to run too. So I bought that, and then I bought some other games. But we are playing House Flipper because it's something nice to kind of piss around in. Now, I went ahead and got past most of the tutorial stuff, and I just happened to go get the fucking pet too that they give you. Uh, Pretty much, I guess you take your money, which I have 37,000 of, and I guess fix this place up. This is your office, from what I can figure, and you can go do jobs, or I guess you can buy houses and fix them up and sell them. I guess. So one of the neat things is you got some free houses and DLC things. Um, you got a cyberpunk pack, a nuclear pack, and something else if I remember. So I was going through here, and this is from the garden DLC, but I found this. This was in the game. And I didn't notice it when I was on the Xbox because I just picked one of the top houses. I didn't go down through and look. But this is Master Roshi's place, and it's got 2 floors? How? How does this have 2 floors? Show me the front house. How's that 2 floors? Well, I guess up there. But that's fucking weird. I didn't notice it had 2 floors. I just noticed it the other night that it was there. So that's gonna be my goal, is to make 90,000 to get that. I'm pretty sure there are some other. I think this is one of the cyberpunk places. There's probably other houses in here that are from other shows. Like this is one of the nuclear ones that are free. That the DLC's free or whatever. Maybe this is the Golden Girl's house because this is Variable Women's house. I don't know. You can get a castle, but apparently you can do this. Oh no, that's the dogs. They got some neat dogs in here. I kind of want to get this one because it looks like this is Australian Shepherd, and I had an Australian. I think it was a mix, Australian sheep herding dog with collie. It's what our dog Bear was when I was living at home. They have cats. I'm sure they're gonna add more cats and stuff too. They have a couple bunnies. Actually, I think they did add. I don't think they had their extra hamsters when I looked the other day. And I think they could put more turtles in. If it don't take a lot of room, I may just go buy a couple or get a couple different things and see what they actually do. They added a new spider too, because there was only 2 the other day. But, oh, here it is, the map. You can do, I guess this is a normal house flipper thing. And then here's the pet one where you can, how the fuck did I do that the other day? Oh, like that. Apparently it wants me to go up here and click that one there to do, but I don't think I want to do that right now. Yeah, but they added this, and this is kind of neat that you can just, it reminds me of The Sims a little bit. The whole fucking game reminds me of The Sims. It's like they're like, oh, people like to decorate their houses, so let's just give them that to do. So I kind of hate doing the gardening ones, and I haven't, like, when I started the other day, because I made a video the other day, and after I got back from town, and I was fucking tired and drained and stuff, and it wasn't very good, so I just deleted it. But I did 2 of the garden ones, and they were kind of annoying. One wanted you to pick weeds and put stones down, and the putting the stones down took forever to do. Somehow, when you clicked give you a big patch to throw down, it made the fucking patch even smaller, and I was like, what the fuck? So this one's annoying because they want you to paint stripes. I did that on the Xbox. This one's not bad, and this one's not bad. I think this one might be good since I can use the mouse instead of the controller. Because the controller, you have to use the sticks to pick stuff. Like if you're going to install something, and then you have to use, I think, LB or whatever to rotate stuff. And it doesn't give you as much options to turn the object. So, and you can do it with the mouse wheel on the mouse, and it's easier. So we're going to try this one just to give you a little bit of an idea. I think I'm bringing my dog with me because there's an option to bring the dog to jobs. I'm not sure what all you can do with the dogs or any of the pets. I don't think you bring snakes with you. So pretty much each job you do, you unlock an item, and you just hold in your right mouse button to do it. Xbox, it would be a little iffy on when you wanted to select whatever you wanted to use, and I still can't figure out if it's the right stick or the left stick, because sometimes the right stick didn't want to do anything, and then when you'd use the left stick, you'd move, and then it would pick whatever the fuck you're trying to, I said give tree. Do I have to fucking... Holy fuck! It just fucking engulfed that. Apparently I can't use the broom here. So we'll open these up. I don't think I had to clean anything, which is good. Shows the dog walking around. What the dog do? He walks around. You're probably gonna get in my way, you little fuck, so I'm just gonna put you right here. Okay, make sure I shut that door. And we shut this door. And we will sell that door, that door. I tried selling the light switch before and it didn't let me do anything. So, now that that's out of the way, and I don't even have to move anything or worry about shit getting dirty, and that light's gonna... You would think if I pounded into this fucking wall right here that I would get electrocuted, but no. It's just like, okay, you wanted to sell me, I'll just fall off the wall instead. My little brother was telling me, because I didn't get to go to the convention thing because the person that was supposed to take me kind of like flaked out and went and did other shit. They were also supposed to take me when I needed to go for groceries, and they ended up, well, when I needed to go to town, they slipped off down the fucking Disneyland and didn't tell anybody they were going down until my mom called and was like, hey, are you gonna like take him uptown to get to pick up groceries and stuff he needs for like laundry and stuff? And she was like, oh, I'm in Florida right now. And mom was like, what the fuck are you doing there? You said you had an open schedule and you would take him for the groceries and whatever. And she's like, yeah, I just decided to go down. And she didn't even take her fucking kid with her, or her boyfriend, or her dad. She fucking went by herself, and I was like, what the fuck? So, I got the point. Always go for the upgrade stuff first, and then you can do this shit later, because it's just easier. And then I didn't see any way to negotiate prices when I was playing on the Xbox. And then this just lowers, there's a bar over on the right hand side, and there's a little line going through it, which if you go past the line, then you can just say, hey, I'm done and you owe me money. So this makes the bar lower so that you can just quit quicker. But I'm gonna do this to get extra money because I want that fucking house. So anyways, she flaked out on us and then wasn't coming to help. And then the other person that mom asked if they could take me was also like no, fuck you. And so I didn't get to go. My little mom even asked my little brother, which she knows I can't. I you know stuff happened, and we just didn't see eye to eye on stuff, and I guess he was gonna take me, but his truck had to go in the garage and get fixed or whatever. So I just couldn't find anybody to take me. And then it was a struggle when I got paid this month to find a ride uptown, and I ended up. My little brother ended up being like, "Yeah, well, I'll come take him," since Jim's being an ass about stuff. And so that was kind of an experience, because at first he was like all rowdy and he was driving kind of crazy, and he would flip people off and stuff, and I was just like, the way you drive, you're gonna get the attention of the cops. And I couldn't find a seatbelt, and he was like, don't worry about it, you don't need seatbelts. So, like, if the cops would have pulled him over for being an ass, he would have had like a $200 and some fine. But after that, and after we got up to the comic shop, and him having to make 3 trips around the fucking block because he wouldn't fucking listen, his girlfriend or fiance or whatever she is, I don't fucking know, I think she bitched at him while I was in the comic shop, and so she started driving in, and we went where we needed to go, and I got the stuff I needed. But he didn't seem like an ass like he used to be, which was the whole reason I didn't really want to hang out with him, because he acted like an ass, and the things were done, which, sometimes you think you're right about stuff, you act a certain way or whatever, but he didn't act like that and stuff, and Mom's had been telling me before that, he didn't act like he used to, and so half the time he can't really listen to what she says, because she could be like, yeah, she could be like, this lady jumped off a bridge and fish ate her, and then you look it up and find out that the lady was going to jump off a bridge or whatever, and she didn't. Mom sometimes likes to say things and not be true, so you never know if what she's telling you is a fact or not. So when she says that he's not being a jerk anymore, it's like, well, I don't know if I believe you or not. But after being out with him, he seems like he's more, I wouldn't say more civil, because he was yelling at people and stuff early there, but he doesn't seem as bad as he was. Like, if he would want to, say, go fishing and ask me if I wanted to go, if I had my fishing license and stuff, I would probably go fishing with him. I had a disc copy of GTA 5, because I have it digital, on like everything pretty much. And so before I keep going, the nice thing about this is you can go to tasks and it'll be like, here's all the stuff you have to do, and when you get it done, it'll check it off. And then if you need something for the place, you just click on what it wants you to get. I think this is a 2-bucket room, if I remember. So we need 2 buckets. Anyways, I had GTA 5 on disc, and I know the game shops aren't going to this might be a 3-bucket job. Aren't gonna give me very much for it. Like, they probably just give me enough money for running gas up to try and trade it. So I thought he had an Xbox One, but he's got a 360 that he runs on. So I was like, here, take this game, and if you get a 1, because he says he wants to get a 1, or the X, either one. I was like, at least you'll have the game to play until whatever. And then I gave him my disc copy of Monster Hunter World because I had that digital too, and that'll be like 2 games that we can play together. I don't know if he's gonna like Monster Hunter or not, but GTA he will, because he has it on the 360. But he doesn't seem as bad as he used to be, so I think I'd be willing to maybe play games online with him on the one if you got one. Maybe like have him get the ultimate game pass so you can get a bunch of the free games. When you're painting, you need this shit first, and then get this stuff. Because half the time I only paint 1 square at a time anyway, so. But yeah, he didn't seem that bad, so I think I'd be willing to like play games and stuff with him. He came in, he was helping bringing stuff in, and he was all like, "Oh wow, your place looks a lot different than what it was before," and I was like, "Well, yeah." So he got looking at, he saw the games on my shelves and stuff, and he's like, "You got a lot of games," and I was like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "I fucking game." So then he's like, "That's a lot of 360 games," and I was like, "Wait a minute," and I got this box that Walmart passes off as a like a game holder box thing. It looks like a big long it looks like something you'd put at the end of your bed, and it has like a tray in it to set controllers, and like if you wind wires up and stuff for like that. And so I opened it up and he's like, "Holy cow," 'cause that's for most of the games that I've beaten but didn't want to get rid of, I put. And he was like, "I can't believe you have all these games." And I was like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "I buy them, play them, and if I like them enough, I'll fucking keep them." I was like, "It's what you should have done with all your stuff, instead of just getting rid of it when you fucking needed money, instead of doing things." And he's like, well, yeah. And I was like, you know. So I told him, I was like, you can borrow a couple games. I was like, but you gotta bring them back, and you gotta make sure you don't scratch them up and stuff, because, you know, they're mine. So I let them borrow two, and I gave him the two Xbox One games. That way, if he gets a one, at least he'll have a couple games. I think, because I have an external hard drive. Yeah, an external hard drive. I think I might give that to him too, because I don't need it, because I bought two bigger ones for my one. But I can see playing GTA with him and him being all wild and shit, screaming at the NPCs and stuff. Or if we actually went into a regular lobby, him trying to kill other players, being a low level. I could see it being fun to play with him. And then showing him my fucking DeLorean and all that stuff. I think he'd I think he'd have fun. And if I had another control, because I don't fucking buy extra controllers, probably go out and find a cheap battery one, and because my Xbox One only has 3 USB ports, and 2 of them are taken up by external hard drives, and the other one is for my wired controller, so I have to keep going buying batteries. Alright, so first I'm going to sell the paint cans, because it says if you sell them, you get money back. So that's $5,000 right there. This is what my place looked like when I first got it, so I cleaned it up some. Dog, you got food and stuff, what are you doing? We'll do this one too. So yeah, if he could act decent and stuff, you know, maybe we can start hanging out online or whatever. because I don't have anyone to play stuff with, and I don't have anybody around here to fucking do anything with, but I've got all these movies and stuff to watch and everything. So if he wants to come watch them or whatever, I think that would be fine. I don't know. I don't know if I could sit that long watching, because the movie's usually about an hour long. You know, I don't know. Like, there was times where I guess maybe he got on Dad's nerves a little bit, and Mom would call and be like, hey, can your brother come in and play games for a couple hours? And I'd be like, well, I don't know, I guess. Is he gonna fucking not be an ass and stuff? And she's like, I don't know, I'll tell him not to fucking start anything. And I was like, okay, then he can come in. Because I knew she didn't want to say right out that he was getting on Dad's nerves and stuff. But he would. He'd get on Mom's nerves too. So I was like, yeah, you can come in, we'll play. And for the most part, he would be okay, but then he was always getting on his phone. People were always sending him text messages and stuff, and I think it was they were pissing him off, and then he'd get agitated and you know, fucking start with me, and then I'd be like, okay, get the fuck out and go home. And a couple of times he didn't want to leave, and I was like, get the fuck out or I'll call the cops. So now that he doesn't live in town where all the trouble was, I don't think it's gonna be as bad. I don't think he gets thrown. I don't think he like reads his phone every fucking 20 seconds anymore. So I don't think it should be that bad. I don't know, but I'm willing to give him a chance and see what happens. Because, like I said, I don't have anybody around here to hang out with. Because it just seems like every time, like when my cousins were coming around, Larry would fucking lie about everything and be like, oh yeah, I have a four-wheeler. And then when we'd offer to go pick it up for him so he'd go ride with us, he'd be like, it's at my uncle's and he's not going to let me get it out, or it has a flat tire, or it needs oil. And Jim would be like, well, we have oil, we'll just go fill it up for you or whatever. And he'd just make all these excuses on why he couldn't go get it. And then we saw his uncle out one time, and Jim asked him about it, and he's like, no, he doesn't have a fucking four-wheeler at my place, he's fucking lying. And then he, like, told us he had a fucking Mustang, and it was at his uncle's, and, Jim said he knew where his uncle's was, and swung up by, and, there was no Mustang there. So, you know, that's how he is about stuff. And then my cousin Travis, him and his girlfriend would come. They broke my fucking couch I had by fucking flopping around and trying to wrestle on it. And I told them to knock the shit off, and they didn't fucking listen. And then his girlfriend would like gawk at my fucking games on my shelf, even though she knew what was there. As just like all she did every time she came was sit and look at all the fucking games I had. And they asked about borrowing a couple, and I knew that they had shady people. And I was like, no, if you want to play, you can play it here, but you're not taking it home. So the one day, it was during the summer, because I never used the bathroom when they were here. Most of the time I didn't have to go to the bathroom, so anyways, I had to go to the bathroom. We had the door open for outside to bring more air in, and I noticed it, like, you know, it's summer, you keep the windows down in your car. So when I was coming upstairs to use the bathroom, I just, for whatever reason, seen the windows were open in their car. And while I was up there, they took like fucking 4 games and threw them in the car. And I didn't know until after they went home. And I was like, I decided I wanted to play the one since they weren't there. Because they just, you know, it's a fucking Xbox game. You can play 4 players, just plug the 4 controllers into the console. And so we were playing it, and they were doing a shitty job. So I was like, I just want to fucking play it by myself. So I went to get it to put it in, and it wasn't there. And I was like, where the fuck did it go? So I looked all over. I couldn't find it, and I was like, I know I'm not imagining it because we just fucking played it. So I looked on the Xbox and saw that the game save was there, and that it was last saved that day. And I was like, well, the only thing that could have happened is they walked off with it. So then I got looking and saw where games were leaning against other games and there were spaces between them at the bottom, and I was like, okay, they fucking stole my games. So I called them and I was like, yo, bring my fucking games back. And they're like, we don't have any of your games. And I was like, you fucking do, because you just took them. And they wouldn't fucking bring him back. So I ended up calling his mom, and she went and got him and fucking brought him back for me and said, don't fucking invite him around again. And I was like, trust me, I fucking won't invite him again. So like, I don't have people come around to hang out. That's like the one guy from GameStop, Andrew. We got hanging out. Me and Bob got hanging out with him, and I went to play Magic with him, and he was like, "You need like some kind of coin or whatever to flip for when people play certain cards." And I was like, okay. So everybody had some kind of fancy like Pog Slammer or whatever they were using for doing the heads or tails. And I was like, well, I got this fucking coin thing from the one Fable game. I'll just use that. So we got drunk the one night, and fucking him or one of my relation that he made friends with that kept coming over fucking stole it and wouldn't admit it, but jokes on them, they kept wanting to trade fucking cards while we were drunk, and I knew better, even drunk, not to fucking trade when you're not in the right mind. So I told them no, but they kept like insisting, so I traded him some cards that I wasn't gonna fucking use, and he gave me cards, and I was like, you know what? The motherfucker took my fucking flip coin thing. So I went through his fucking cards and took cards I wanted. Just because I knew I did it to both of them. I fucking took magic cards from both of them. Because Andrew was all like, one time I didn't have enough money, and I usually didn't have money near the end of the month, as you know from older videos. So Andrew was all like, "Hey, I need to borrow some money," and I thought maybe because he had his daughter staying there with him for like a week or whatever, because it was during the summer. I thought maybe he needed money for food or something for her. And I was like, okay. And then he was dumb enough to be like, yeah, I want to go and buy some magic cards. And he asked me over Xbox Live while I was in a party with my friend JD, and I guess he's my friend Till. I was in a party with them when he asked, and they knew my situation, and they're like, it would have been okay if you needed food or whatever, but to go buy fucking magic cards when you know he doesn't have money and he's barely getting by, what kind of fucking asshole friend does that? And Andrew got mad and left the fucking party, and I guess they kept sending him messages and telling him how much of an ass he was and stuff. And they were like, you need to fucking get rid of him because he's just gonna keep asking for money and stuff. And I was like, alright. So I took some of his magic cards that he claimed were worth money and stuff, and he'd trade magic cards for drugs sometimes. So I was like, he's not gonna fucking miss it. They're probably gonna have me replace that fucking plug there. But yeah, I was just like, fuck him if he's gonna be an ass and steal my stuff and try to bum money off me all the time, then fuck him. And it's bad, he asked me for money, but he had them fucking cards that he could've took to the card shop and sold, but he wanted to fucking get money from everybody else instead of you know, taking his cards and selling them. So this is like a vacuum cleaner, and I don't understand why you vacuum a window when there's dirt and shit that you would have to wipe off. I can't tell with this window where the dirt is. Alright, well, that fixes that. But, so, like, everybody I make friends with around here turns out to be some kind of scuzzball and shit, so I just don't bother trying to make friends. Because I keep getting fucked over. see, that is for a washer. And I'm going with the cheap stuff because it comes out of my wallet. Fuck you, that's where you're going. So imagine trying to use the left stick to get to these pretty quick on our controller. And then me and Bob quit hanging out for Easy Street because his second child, well, when he moved down to Maryland, he had to get a babysitter or whatever, a nanny for his daughter, which when he was here, he'd have me come over and hang out, but he'd be too busy playing a single player game to pay attention to his daughter. So she wanted a book read, and she'd go to him, he'd be like, I'm fucking busy. Fucking go away. And I was like, what the fuck? What a fucking ass. So I'd be like, hey, come on, get up here and I'll read it to you. Or she'd like point at something and try to tell me about it or whatever. So I'd sit and read books with her. If she got hungry, he'd be like, "Oh, there's fucking crackers in the fucking on the counter. You can fucking eat them. I'm fucking busy." And he'd just be like, laying on the couch, fucking drinking a rum and coke, and watching, the fuck is that show? The two guys that Mythbusters. He'd be watching that, and I'd just sit there and like look at him like, what the fuck? Your kid's hungry and you don't fucking care. So I'd get up and I'd go out and I'd be like, what do you want to eat? And she'd be like, a can of soup, and I'd be like, okay. So I'd fucking get a dish out and heat it up in the microwave for her, and give it to her. And why he sat and he didn't even fucking care. He sit and watch fucking Mythbusters and shit. She'd be watching her. He got a little TV and set it like in the corner, and got her like a beanbag chair, and she'd watch TV on there. But there'd be nights where she was watching something, and it gave me flashbacks of when I was like 5. Dad had a trailer and a big piece of ground and a nice size like workshop out in the backyard, and my the fuck is he, half brother, step brother, yeah, No, half brother. I don't know. From what I understand from Jim, uh, Dad was messing around with his ex-wife's sister, and she got pregnant, and they didn't want her and her husband didn't want the baby, and was gonna put it up, and Dad swooped in and took it, pretty much. So I don't think he signed papers or anything. And him and his ex-wife raised it as theirs. Technically, it was Dad's, but his ex-wife didn't know. So, like, they raised him, and he was a fucking drunk and a druggie, like a functioning drunk and druggie. He'd go out and fucking drink and come in like midnight, 2 in the morning, and stuff. And uh, when it was morning, you know, I'd be up watching cartoons or Sesame Street or whatever because I was like 4 or 5, and he'd come out and bitch at Mom and tell Mom to shut the fucking stuff off or he's gonna bust the TV, and Mom would get up in his face and stuff, and she kept telling Dad about it when he get home from working on a farm, that he worked for his buddy, and they did all kinds of fucking shady stuff. That's another fucking story. But Dad got tired of it. And instead of putting him out, Dad found a house up the road a bit and bought it, and we moved into that, and it wasn't that great of a house. Dad and in my 20s sometime, because I've been here about 20 some years, I think. Um, Dad ended up going bankrupt because he couldn't fucking fix the place. Um, the big boards that hold up the floor underneath were going rotten, and then the ones that run up and down were rotting out, and it was just too much to fix. And we had a neighbor that ended up poisoning our dog Bear and killing it, and would fight with Dad and let their dogs run our yards, and my cat Fluffy wasn't fucking afraid of their fucking Dalmatian and kept trying to rip its eyes out. Um, but there was a lot of shit going on, and Dad decided that he didn't need the shit, and the bills were getting a bit too much. Like, every year he'd take a loan out to cover his other loan, which was supposed to be a better deal, and then he'd take a little bit extra money out for Christmas to buy us stuff for Christmas. And so it just got to be too much, and they decided to go bankrupt and get rid of all the loans and everything. And so when they went bankrupt, the place pretty much took the house, and Dad was like, "You fucking have the house." So dog, you might end up being a pain in the ass. You might have to start staying at home. So they took the house and stuff, and then they sold it to somebody else, and they found out what kind of shape it was in and put it up for sale, and somebody else got it, and they did a lot of fucking fixing up. But our half brother or whatever the fuck he was, he'd fight with mom about stuff like bitching about making too much noise while he was trying to sleep and shit like that. So dad ended up just fucking moving us out and letting him have the ground and stuff, which I think he sold and ended up moving somewhere else. But he was in fucking trouble. Like, he got drunk one night and ran into some person's fence, and dad had to go fucking fix it. And, dad was always giving him money, and if he'd show up after dad made food, dad would be like, "Are you hungry?" And he'd feed him, but then he'd take and put half of what he made into bowls and give it to him to take home, and then we'd have to wonder, you know, like dad would have to go back out and buy more food because he gave half of what should have lasted us to him. And then dad would complain about how we didn't have fucking money and stuff, and then when he would, you know, he'd fucking go take loans out to cover the other loans and all that, and it was just shit. But Bob was kind of like that, and you know, where he didn't, I don't know, Bob was pretty much an ass, especially when that girl that was being a nanny for him, she had a guy, and Bob being Bob was fucking her, and she ended up getting pregnant after he moved back to here. And when he got with his friend Amy and her, who had like a bunch of fucking kids, that nanny called Bob and was like, "Hey, my kid is your kid from when you were down here." And so she came up with the kid and gave Bob pictures and stuff, and Bob was all like, "What do you think of her?" And I was like, "Are you gonna fucking set me up with her or something?" Is what I thought. And I was like, "I don't know, she looks good." So he ended up fucking with her and stuff, and but he was with Amy, and at some point Amy, because they'd been together for a year or whatever, Amy was all like, "I think it's been long enough that we should maybe look about getting married." And Bob was like, "Oh yeah, sure," and all that. And then he was telling me that she was fucking out of her head if she thought he was getting married. And I was like, "Well, then fucking tell her that. Don't fucking lead her on about it." So he was he was seeing his kid's mom on the side, and I knew, and I kept telling him, "Well, if you're gonna fucking be with her, you need to fucking like drop Amy." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I will." And I was like, "No, seriously, like, that's not cool." I was like, "I don't agree with that, because Larry fucking did that where he'd lead girls on thinking he was into them, and then holy fuck. And then he'd just go find another one to get with stuff, and I was like, well, that's not fucking cool of you. So, I told him, I was like, you really need to call it off with Amy if you're gonna fucking be with this one that's the daughter or the mother of your other daughter. And he's like, yeah, I will, buddy. I was like, okay. And so then the lady would send her one boy up to hang out with Bob when she sent his kid up to stay on the weekends or whatever to see her dad, which between me and Amy, we were doing all the spending time with and all that. And Bob would sit on the fucking couch and rum and coke it up on watching fucking Avatar or Mythbusters or shit like that, and I was just like, do you even care about your fucking kids? So it started getting where when the boy would come up, they'd get on the laptop and start looking at houses around the area, and I was like, what are you doing? And he'd be like, oh, Mom wants to move up this way so that we don't have such a long way to go with the kid. I was like, oh. So then Bob told me that he took me to look at the one place, and I was like, what are we doing? And he's like, looking at a house to see if it's what I'm looking for to fit her and her mom and me in. And I was like, what the fuck? So he never fucking told Amy that he was done with her. And then it turned out that she was pregnant to Bob. So Bob knew, but Bob didn't care because he had his kid's mom. And so he was still planning on leaving Amy for his kid's mom, and didn't fucking tell her. And like, her mom and dad came over one time to visit while I was there, and her mom was all like, so when he's getting married? And Amy's like, I don't know, we didn't set a date yet. I was like, motherfucker. So I told him we went looking at another house somewhere, and I was like, Bob, you need to fucking tell her that you're leaving. And he was like, I will. So it got to the point where well, the one day Amy called and was like, Bob's not answering his phone. I need to talk to him. And I was like, okay. She's like, can you put him on? And I was like, he's not here. And she was like, well, he said he's coming over to see you. And I was like, he's not fucking here. I was like, I've been trying to get a hold of him to see if he wants to hang out for the weekend or whatever. And she was like, oh. So I called Bob and he answered. I was like, dude, she's looking for you. And she called me asking to talk to you, and I told her you weren't here because you're not here. And he's like, yeah, I'm with the kid's mom over at my other buddy's place. And I was like, so why didn't you tell her you were over there hanging out instead of here? He's like, oh, I figured you'd cover for me. And I was like, did you even tell her you're leaving yet or whatever? And he's like, no. And I was like, she's getting closer to having that kid and stuff. And I was like, you better fucking figure out what you're doing. So, the one night he asked if he could bring her over to my place, and I was like, you're not fucking in my bed, and you're not fucking getting your snail trail all over my floor or anything. So I was like, no. I was like, just go back over to your fucking buddies and fuck her over there like you've been doing. And he was like, well, he's kind of busy. And I was like, well, I guess you're not gonna fucking snail trail anywhere. And so it was like after that night, he ended up he didn't answer me for a week when I called him to see if we were gonna hang out, because I fucking wanted to know. And so I left him a message and I was like, yo, you're not gonna fucking answer me and we're not gonna hang out anymore. I was like, I guess we're not friends. And I was like, I guess that means I don't have to fucking keep my mouth shut about you and your side chick. I was like, you better fucking give me a call back and let me know what the fuck is going on and shit. So he didn't fucking call me. So Amy wanted to go hang out and have Taco Bell because we would go eat places sometimes. And so I was like, okay. So she's like, I gotta drop shoes off for Bob. And I was like, oh yeah? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm down for riding along over while you drop his shoes off, because she didn't know what was going on. So we stopped at where he worked at, and I was like, hey Bob, and he didn't say anything. He pretty much ignored me. And his buddy was like, oh hey Weez, and I was like, hey. He's like, you play any new games or anything? And I was like, no. I was like, Bob's busy, he can't fucking talk to me, and he's like, yeah, Bob's busy, and I was like, alright. I was like, I see how it is. And so when we went to Taco Bell, I told her, I was like, yo, I was like, Bob is messing around with that other girl, and when he says he's at my place, he's not at my place. He's over with that girl over at his other buddy's place. And she's like, I kind of had a feeling because the time you called, you said he wasn't there, and you seemed like you didn't know where he was, and you were kind of annoyed. I was like, yep. I was like, he didn't fucking want to hang out anymore. He wouldn't fucking call. So I was like, I got tired of it. She's like, well, I'm glad you told me. You could have told me sooner. She's like, I wish he didn't let me fucking mortgage a house or whatever for 3 years. He should have fucking told me. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I think he just wanted all the banging he could get and didn't care or whatever. And she's like, well, I'm fucking pregnant. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he knows, but he don't care. So it wasn't too long after that, he ended up leaving her, and he let his kid's mom hanging and got with this other chick that has like 4 or 5 fucking kids. And I think she ended up getting pregnant to him too. And he ended up marrying her. Probably because she was like, I've seen what you did to the other two. You're not fucking doing that to me. So fuck you. So now he's living somewhere else with this new woman that he married with a whole bunch of kids, and I don't even know what's going on with him. I don't talk to him. My brother Jim talks to him every now and then, but I don't fucking do anything with him. I don't want. It wasn't cool that he did that shit to Amy, and it wasn't really cool he left the other one in the same boat pretty much. She was making plans to come up. She was getting all her ducks in a line and everything, and he just up and bailed on her for another woman. I don't know if I really want to fucking paint. I'd get extra money out of it, but I don't need, like, I want the extra money, but I don't really. So the long way around is every time I make a friend around here, they turn out to be shit and just cause more problems than what they're worth. So I haven't looked about making any friends. And because I get anxiety a lot, there's like the game shop down the street that holds magic tournaments and shit like that, but I can't go to that. I get all panicky and shit, and so and it's getting to the point where even online, like, I have nobody to play Warframe with on Xbox, and there's always them looking for group things, and I just get way too fucking nervous even thinking about trying to get in a group with people with mics and trying to hang out and all that. Let's see, which one of these is easier to do? I think this one you just put a room, or take a room and change into. Yeah, this one's not that bad. Like I get fucking anxiety now, and it wasn't like that when I made friends with DZ and Silver and them guys. But now it's like I look at joining a group or whatever, and I just get all panicky and shit. But I can make friends on WoW and hang out and all that. but I can't do it with like Xbox, and it kind of. It kind of annoys me that I can't fucking try and make friends or whatever. But then the other thing is, okay, I don't play Warframe a lot, and I like to play other stuff. Like I've been playing Far Cry 5 because it's free on the Game Pass. I don't want to. Make a friend that constantly plays like Warframe, and then when I get on and I'm in the Far Cry, I don't want them bugging the shit out of me to come play Warframe if I'm wanting to play Far Cry. Like it used to be, like JD and them would be all like, hey, come play Destiny, and I'd be like, yo, I'm playing this. And they'd send me like fucking 50 requests to fucking play, and I was like, this is a bunch of shit. So I would just go clear offline, but that's annoying them, because if somebody is like, I wanted to talk to you, but you weren't on, you know. Okay, so I couldn't really figure this out the other day. Like I have 2 wall tiles, and I have a floor tile. Oh yeah, that's right. I had to do this. Okay, we'll set these out here. I think I needed 2 rows of them. I think it wants me to basically do it like this, which is why I think it gives me when I did it on the Xbox, I was just like, I'm gonna splatter the one wall and fuck the. I don't fucking know. I probably fucked up again, but now I don't care. Why the fuck did that do that? I don't fucking care. But I'm pretty sure this is what they fucking want, and it's annoying. They have me paint rooms like this too. But I just go and paint one side one color and paint another side another color. Because it's annoying. It's one of the few things I don't like about doing this game. Now, we're at a fuck you section because of that. So now, we know that two of these did that room, or did the first one, so we'll just do that again. That's what I was trying to fucking do. Fucking lag. Is there lag in offline games? I don't fucking know, but that was lag or something. Come on. Apparently I did it right this time. Okay, a shower. Sometimes I don't remember what the fuck I'm looking at. And again, since all this comes out of my pocket, we're going cheap, unless they ever decide to be like, you have to give us this one. Then I'm gonna be like, fuck you, and leave the job. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't fucking, like I said. Well, first of all, I'm just gonna say this: why the fuck do you need a door here and a door here? My shower is one of them, like, shower bathtubs. You only have one way in. You step in over the side. And in The Sims, you only have one door to get into these. Why the fuck do you need two? Okay. Now to buy the toilet. But like I was saying, my other problem is I don't want to end up making friends from a specific game and then that's all they want to fucking play, and I don't want to fucking play the game all the time. Like, I like Fortnite, but I don't want to fucking play Fortnite all the time. And my friend Buffy was playing Fortnite all the time, and for a while, and she'd be like, "Come play Fortnite," and I'm like, "No." And then she was really into Destiny and Halo, and would keep fucking inviting me to play them when I was trying to play like Fallout or whatever. So, you know, I just don't want that where I'm constantly being bothered to play things that I don't want to play at the time. It's why I hide offline on Discord and on WoW, because some people don't play WoW, but they play Overwatch or whatever else, and it's like, well, I don't want to fucking play that. I'm in WoW to play WoW. Okay, now I need a mirror to put over the sink. Like, I want someone that, when I want to play Warframe, if they want to play, they will come play. Or if I want to play something else, they come play. I'm not painting this fucking room. I have to complete the job. I think 2 cans will do it. So I bought the DLC for the hunting game that has the turkey in it, and I thought about making a video in that, But most of the time when I play it, I'll hear the animal or like see the tracks and stuff. But half the time I never see animals. And then the whole dark, like nighttime stuff, I can't fucking see shit in the dark, especially in the woods in that game. And so I'd probably end up walking by deer and stuff. So I just wasn't fucking sure if I'd want to play that for these guys or not. Alright, I'm fucking out of this. I've got my 4,000. But I thought about playing it, showing off because it's turkeys and stuff. Just showing that stuff off. It'd be something different than Final Fantasy or Vampire Survivors. I unlocked a whole bunch of stuff in Vampire Survivors, which I think if I went and played it now, it would be kind of fun to be like, okay, I'm taking this guy and I'm gonna run through this and see how far I can get, which normally I can get to the fucking 30-minute mark. I remember playing and not being able to get past 12 minutes. And I still have a bunch of shit to open up in the game. They like update the fucking thing every couple days pretty much. But I like the game. And then I got I don't know what the fuck they are. They're like a big overgrown groundhog. I got that pack for Planet Zoo, and then they had a conservation pack put out just the other day with ocelots in it. And I was like, I could probably just sit there and watch them swim around. So I was like, I'll fucking buy that. I thought about, because I fucked up my park. I put these little balls, they're like little speakers, and they're supposed to tell you either facts about the animal nearby or advertised animals. And I put them all over the fucking park and connected them to like the prairie dogs. And there's little exclamation points, or there's little notices. They're like, this isn't in the right area for that, fix it. And it's just like a streaming line of fucking notices about it. So I probably have to redo or restart a new park and not do that. So I thought about maybe playing that and doing a video in it. I guess I give the dog pets. Don't want it to be why didn't you sleep in your fucking bed? But I thought about playing that to change it up some. I got this pisses me off about The Sims. Sims 1, you didn't have any kind of entities or anything. At least I don't think you could. I think they came out with a pets pack. And then Sims 2 brought the pets pack out again, but I think they added a couple more pets to it or whatever. And then they had like, I think magic, or like, I don't know. They had some stuff. I think they introduced the college in it or whatever. And then in Sims 3, they brought the pets pack out again. They brought the college pack out. And then they brought something else out. And now in Sims 4, Or in Sims 3, they had a supernatural pack that gave you the ghost, the werewolf, the vampire, a fairy, I think a genie, and the wizard? So then in 4, because in 3 you had to go buy the pet pack and pretty much everything from 2. So in 4, they put out the pet pack again, the university, the adventure thing, I believe, from 3. Then they gave you a supernatural pack, but it only gave you an alien and a vampire to use, I believe. I think that was the only 2 things in it. And then I think there was a magic one that gave you the wizards. And now they just put out a fucking werewolf pack that gives you the werewolf and no other fucking magic thing. And then you have your university and pretty much everything else from 3. Or they're slowly putting the rest of the stuff from 3 in. Hopefully they give us the future one where you can time travel and stuff. Because I bought that pack, and there was another pack that 3 has, but I just didn't get around to buying it yet. Because I don't play 3 as much anymore. But I thought about playing some more Sims 4, run the werewolf stuff. And then near the end of the month, they're coming out with a school pack where you get to go to school. I don't know how that's gonna be. I thought about getting it, but I didn't buy the university one. I don't think. I think I had to look at the university one to see what other stuff besides going to the university it gives you. So I think one of them you got to be a celebrity or whatever. So I don't know. We'll have to look and see if it's worthwhile picking up. But I thought about playing that, and then I don't know. There was something else I thought about playing, but I didn't know if it would be worthwhile to do as a video. I picked up that YouTuber sim thing. PewDiePie played it once. I think Markiplier played it. I was playing it last night for a little bit, but I don't know if it's worthwhile to do video in it because it's pretty much a time management type deal thing where you divide your time between making videos and doing studying for school and getting a job, because at first you don't get money for making YouTube videos. You're just getting views and subscribers or whatever, but you're not getting money from them yet. And so you can go do like odd jobs pretty much. Nothing set in stone as, oh, you're a car washer, you know, like in The Sims. When you pick a job, that's your job then. It's like a one-day job or whatever. So you have to divide your time up between, if you're gonna make a couple videos, and you definitely had to go to school. You definitely had to do the school thing, and then you had to eat and you had to sleep. So you pick when you do that stuff. Um, and then like I know you can go to outings, like go to cons or movie premieres and stuff, because I seen that in their videos when they did them. Um, yeah, you had to decide what things are important and all that. So it's time management, and I'm like, I don't know if that is something that people wanna watch and see. And it's kind of an old game because there's a second one out now, but I figured I'd play that, and then if 2 comes down in price at some point after I've at least played through it once, I'm gonna go buy 2. But I picked that up, and then like I said, I got that pack for the zoo game, which I don't know, I might do a video on it. My thing is, the simulation games, I feel nobody wants to fucking sit and watch, but Twitch says otherwise, because Farming Simulator and Euro Trucks and American Trucks seem to do pretty well on Twitch. My brother was saying about, or my little brother was saying about Farming Simulator, and I was like, well, I have one of them on the PS4. I was like, the other one's in the Game Pass. And I was like, do you know my friend Botobo would sit and stream one of the farming ones and would get a lot of views and shit. And he's like, oh yeah, there's some big streamers in that category that run that all the time and gets a lot of views. And I was like, but I don't see why. I was like, farming would, people don't know about farming. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Why are you doing this? And it's like, I don't see how people can sit and watch it if they don't know anything about what's going on. Like this, you're painting stuff and repairing stuff, and people kind of know what the fuck's going on. But the farming game, I don't see how people are into it when, it's all farm stuff. It's kind of why the other reason I don't really want to play the hunting game for a video, because are people going to want to sit and watch somebody walking through the woods and wherever trying to find a deer and maybe not find a deer, or something that used to happen a bunch when me and Scorpion would play, or even before me and Scorpion would play and I just played by myself or he played by himself. We shoot a deer, follow the tracks, because you follow the blood. We'd get way out somewhere, and then the blood would stop and there'd be no more tracks. It'd just be like aliens came and beamed the fucking deer up. And I don't really want to play it and shoot a deer and then spend 30 minutes tracking it and then it not be there. So, like, I don't know if that's ever happened to Mr. Blackout or not, but he's played it and people seem to like it, but like I said, I don't know if people would want to sit and watch. I never got the file, or Scorpion never told me the files for Pokemon, so I don't know what they are. And my friend Sai plays, but I don't think they have all the files for it or not. So um, that's why I haven't been doing videos on that, even though I know people watched them and stuff. I'd play it again, but I just need the other two, the two files that actually matter, and I don't know which ones they are. The Scorpion would know, but I don't fucking remember. But I could load up my Microsoft version and maybe try building Weasel News for the video. Maybe my friend said I would come play that, or my friend Foxy, she's like, I play Minecraft, but we've never played Minecraft together, so maybe she come help me build. I don't know. Hopefully I get a fucking lawnmower to mow grass in this, because this is a weed eater. You're not supposed to mow grass with this. And the fact that it's so fucking small, and you have a fucking garden DLC, so that should be giving you a fucking lawnmower. But yeah, I just don't really know what to play. I got this, and I was like, well, I could do some videos in this, because it's kind of neat, and it's a little, it's something to pass the time with, and, you know, talk about shit that's been going on, and it's not like you can lose, like, you're not gonna not be able to concentrate and whatever, while you do stuff, because it's not that hard to do shit. Finally, you use this fucking bed. And this is a pee pad. Oh, you finally get up, did you, you little shit? Try this again. I figured you would be smarter. Holy fuck. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here, because these are definitely from the Sims. These fucking auto pet feeders and water feeders. They don't have a water feeder in the Sims for some reason, but here they are here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here, because it's probably, I don't know what the fucking time it is, but we'll stop and maybe pick this up later on. If people want to see more of it, we'll do more later. So let me know if you want to see this, or if you want to see the Hunter, or Planet Zoo, or I don't fucking know. I still have that fucking pirate game, that Tempest or whatever. I believe I have all the DLC for that. You could always load that up and fucking play it. I don't remember the controls, and it took me an hour to remember them the last time I played it. I have GTA, but I can't get the window to flip down so that I can start OBS. I don't know how to set up a key command or whatever to make OBS record or whatever, why I'm not windowed out to hit the record button. But yeah, I don't know, maybe suggest some games. Maybe I'll have the games and I'll make a video on them or whatever. So yeah,